Donald Trump has agreed to be interviewed by the FBI as part of its investigation into the assassination attempt at his rally in Pennsylvania earlier this month. In a call with reporters on Monday, the FBI did not give a date for the interview, but said it would be, and I quote, "a standard victim interview we do for any other victim of crime," end of quote. In their words, they said, and I quote, "We want to get his perspective on what he observed," said the FBI Special Agent Kevin Rojek. Despite poring over mountains of evidence, investigators are yet to determine the motive to explain why Thomas Matthew Crooks opened fire on 13th July. Meanwhile, the newly released text messages have revealed the 20-year-old was spotted by a local SWAT team more than 90 minutes before the shooting, much earlier than previously thought. The messages obtained by the New York Times and the ABC News will add to the list of the security failures that preceded the assassination attempt against the former president. On Monday, the FBI said investigators believe Crooks conducted, and I quote, "careful planning" ahead of the 13th July rally and made significant efforts to conceal his activities. That planning, which included 6 purchases of components for explosive devices, was conducted in a manner that would not significantly raise suspicions of his parents, Mr. Rojek said. Multiple investigations have been launched into what went wrong in securing Butler Fair showgrounds on 13th July. Secret Service Director Kimberly Chittle resigned after admitting failures. On the day of the shooting, the agency was in charge of security within the fenced area, and the local law enforcement were responsible for areas beyond that. At around 4:19 p.m. local time, the local police sniper texted 2 colleagues who were in the second floor of the warehouse overlooking the site, telling them he was clocking off. As he left the building, he saw a young man sitting at a picnic table and notified others, saying in a text, "Someone followed our lead and snuck in and parked by our cars, just so you know." By around 5:38 p.m., Crooks had moved from the table to the warehouse and an American Glass Research AGR building, and pictures of him were taken and shared in the group chat. These are the words: "Kid learning around building we are in. AGR, I believe it is. I did see him with a range finder looking towards stage. For your information, if you wanna notify SS snipers to look out, I lost sight of him." Other messages obtained by CBS and BBC News partners showed that at around 5:51 p.m., picture of Crooks was forwarded to a local officer who said the commanders were asking for a direction of travel. At about 20 minutes later, Crooks was dead, shot by the Secret Service after opening fire from the roof of an adjoining warehouse. While the FBI investigation is focused on Crooks and his motivations, rather than any security failures that took place, Mr. Rojek said investigators believe that he arrived at the venue at around 1:50 p.m. on the day of the shooting and flew a drone around the area for 11 minutes shortly after. The FBI believed Crooks left the venue at approximately 4 p.m. before returning and being identified as a suspicious person shortly after 5 p.m. At around 5:30 p.m., he was seen using a range finder, according to the FBI's timeline, just under half an hour before he was seen walking near the AGR building with a backpack. At around 4:11 p.m., at around 6 p.m., he was confronted by a police officer about 30 seconds before he fired 8 shots in the direction of Trump and the crowd. Crook is now believed to have conducted early surveillance of the site on 11th July, 2 days before the rally. The newly published text messages extend the time period in which the 20-year-old gunman had provoked suspicion. Previous reports established that he was on the radar of the local law enforcement about an hour before the shooting. Witnesses told BBC moments after the shooting they had spotted a gunman on the roof and raised the alarm. It is unclear why there was a communication breakdown between the local law enforcement and the Secret Service. Members of the local SWAT team told news reporters on Sunday they had no contact with the agency and the face-to-face briefing failed to happen. On Monday, Speaker Mike Johnson and Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries also announced 13 members of a bipartisan task force that will investigate the attempt on Trump's life. The committee, which is composed of 7 Republicans and 6 Democrats, includes Pennsylvania's Republican Mike Kelly, whose district includes Butler, and Tennessee's Mark Green, the chairman of the Homeland Security Committee. Acting Secret Service Director Donald Rowe and FBI Deputy Director Paul Abet will appear on a separate hearing before the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Committee on Tuesday. You can support us by subscribing to this channel. You can like, you can also share this with your friends as we keep updating you on the latest news that are happening in the United States and other parts of the world. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next news item.